विद्यार्थी मित्र हो, ग्रॅव्हिटेशन पाठाचा आपण मागचा जो व्हिडिओ भाग पाहिला असेल त्या भागामध्ये आपण ग्रॅव्हिटेशनल फोर्स म्हणजे काय अभ्यासलं. ग्रॅव्हिटेशनल फोर्सचे शोध न्यूटनद्वारे कशा पद्धतीने लावला त्याचा अभ्यास आपण मागच्या भागामध्ये केला. त्याचप्रमाणे सेंट्रिपेटल फोर्स, सर्क्युलर मोशन याबद्दलची माहिती आपण मागच्या भागामध्ये घेतली. Now in today's part we discuss about the Kepler's law. Before we turn to Kepler's law, first we take information about the ellipse. What is the ellipse or elliptical shape? Which shape is termed as the elliptical shape, and what are the properties or the some characters of the elliptical shapes? See here, what is the ellipse? It is a curve. Ellipse is a curve. How can we ellipse obtain? That curve is obtained when a cone is cut by an inclined plane. Ellipse is a curve which is obtained when a cone is cut by an inclined plane. म्हणजे एखादा शंकू आकाराचा आकृती जेव्हा आपण एखाद्या प्रतलाने तिरप्या दिशेने कापतो तेव्हा आपल्याला जो आकार मिळतो तो आकार म्हणजे इलिप्स, ज्याला मराठीमध्ये आपण लंबवर्तुळ किंवा लंबवृत्त असं म्हणू. Which shape is termed as elliptical shape or ellipse? It is a curve which is obtained by the cutting the cone by the inclined plane. Suppose it is a cone. And that cone is cut by that plane and in the direction, inclined direction, not in horizontal direction. When that cone may be cut by the plane in the inclined direction or the inclined plane, when we cut that cone by the inclined plane, we will get the figure, we will get the curve. That curve is the ellipse. So these are 2 points about the ellipse. Ellipse has 2 focal points. It is most important. Ellipse has 2 focal points, and the next point about the ellipse is that the sum of the distances to the 2 focal point, the sum of the distances of the 2 focal point from the every point on the curve is a constant. We see in our figure, we understand that these 2 points with the help of that figure. It is a elliptical curve or ellipse. It is a elliptical curve or it is said to be ellipse. That shape is a ellipse. Ellipse has 2 focal point. Ellipse has 2 focal point. What is the focus, or which point is termed as the focus point? That focal point or focus is, we learned about that focus or focal point in our previous year or the standard with the help of the mirrors. Which mirror? That is suppose we know that what is the focus of that mirror. See here, we say that it is the focus of that mirror. So each curve has curve shape. It means that each curve shape has a focus. It means that each curve shape has a focus, and due to this, that ellipse has 2 focus. See here, it is also curve shape of that ellipse, and it is also curve shape of that ellipse. Suppose these are the points of that both the curves, that are the focal point of that both the curves. So they are the focus focal point of the ellipse, it means that each elliptical shape has the two focal points. Here in figure it is of F1 and it is F2. These are both the two focal points of the ellipse. Now second point about the ellipse. The sum of the distances to the two focal point. Sum of the distances to the two focal point from every point on the curve is constant. The sum of the distances to the two focal point from every point on the curve is constant. म्हणजे हा जो इलिप्टिकल शेप आहे, ही जी कर्व आहे, या कर्व वरील कोणत्याही बिंदूच्या अंतराची बेरीज ही नेहमी करता स्थिर असते. या कर्व वरील कोणत्याही बिंदूची दोन्ही फोकल पॉइंट चे अंतराची जी बेरीज आहे, ती अंतराची बेरीज ही नेहमी करता स्थिर असते. सपोज it is a point A and it is a distance from point A of the F1 and it is a distance of A from point the next focal point, that is F2. Now see here, it is another point, a B point. It is another point, a B point. Distance of B from F1 is here and distance of B from F2 is here. Now we will take the one more point, that is the C point. Distance of C from F1 is here in this way and distance of C from F2 is here. Now our point is that, the sum of the distances to the two focal point, from every point on the curve is constant. म्हणजे या कर्व वरील, म्हणजे या इलिप्टिकल शेपचा हा जो कर्व आहे, या कर्व वरील कोणत्याही बिंदूच्या दोनही फोकल पॉइंट पासूनची अंतराची बेरीज ही नेहमी करता स्थिर राहते. म्हणजे काय? म्हणजे आपण या ए बिंदूची F1 आणि F2 पासूनची बेरीज करू. ही आहे AF1 अधिक AF2, AF1 अधिक AF2. त्याचप्रमाणे या बी बिंदूची F1 आणि F2 पासूनची बेरीज BF1 अधिक BF2. त्यानंतर सी बिंदू आपण तिसरा घेतला. सी बिंदूच्या दोन्ही फोकल पॉइंट पासूनची बेरीज CF1 अधिक CF2. या तिन्हींच्या जर बेरजा पाहिल्या तर ह्या बेरजा स्थिर असतात, म्हणजे समान असतात. ए बिंदूचं F1 पासूनचं अंतर आणि ए बिंदूचं F2 पासूनचं अंतर, या दोन्हीची बेरीज जेवढी येईल तेवढीच बेरीज बी बिंदूचं F1 पासूनचं अंतर आणि बी बिंदूचं F2 पासूनच्या अंतराची बेरीज एवढं असतं. ती बेरीज ही सी बिंदूचं F1 पासूनचं अंतर आणि सी बिंदूचं F2 पासूनचं अंतर, यांची जी बेरीज आहे त्या बेरीज एवढीच असते. इट मीन्स दॅट द सम ऑफ द डिस्टन्सेस टू द two focal point, sum of the distances to the two focal point from every point on the curve is constant. These are some characters or some point about the ellipse. Now we turn to our Kepler's law. Kepler's law. Kepler stated three laws about the planets and the sun when they are rotating around the sun. By the observation of the position of the planets, position of the planets, Newton stated three laws. We discussed about the Kepler's first law. Kepler's first law. What is it? See here. The orbit of a planet, the orbit of a planet, the orbit of a planet is an orbit of a planet is an ellipse. Orbit of a planet is an ellipse. Orbit of a planet is an ellipse with the sun, and the position of a sun at any one of focal point, position at any one of focal point. It is the first law of Kepler. The orbit of a planet is an ellipse. Orbit of a planet is an ellipse with the sun and the position of the sun at any one of focal point. म्हणजे सूर्याभोवती भ्रमण करणाऱ्या ग्रहाची कक्षा ही लंबवर्तुळाकार असते आणि सूर्याचे स्थान त्या लंबवृत्ताच्या दोन्हीपैकी कुठल्या तरी एका फोकल पॉइंटला असते. See here. Suppose it is a orbit of any planet. Suppose it is orbit of any planet. It is a planet, and that ellipse shape is the orbit of that planet with the sun. And where is the position of the sun? And the position of a sun at any one of the focal point. म्हणजे सूर्य कुठे असतो? या इलिप्सच्या दोन्ही पैकी एका कुठल्या तरी फोकल पॉइंटला असतो. आता याला हा एक फोकल पॉइंट आहे आणि हा एक फोकल पॉइंट आहे. समजा या फोकल पॉइंटला आपण सूर्य आहे असं मानू. It is a rotating planet and it is a sun. The position of the sun is at the focal point of that ellipse. It is the first law which are stated by the Kepler. The orbit of a planet is an ellipse with the sun and the position of a sun at any one of the focal point. म्हणजे ग्रह सूर्याभोवती लंबवर्तुळाकार कक्षेमध्ये फिरतात आणि सूर्याचं स्थान त्या लंबवर्तुळाच्या किंवा लंबवृत्ताच्या कुठल्या तरी फोकल पॉइंटला म्हणजे नाभीवर असतं. नाउ we turn to second law, Kepler's second law. Kepler's second law. Kepler's second law. What is it? The line joining the planet. Line joining the planet. Line joining the planet and sun. Line joining the planet and sun sweeps line joining the planet and sun sweeps equal area in sweeps equal area in equal interval of time, in equal interval of time. It is Kepler's second law. The line joining the sun and planet, line joining the sun and planet sweeps equal area in equal interval of time. म्हणजे सूर्याभोवती फिरणारा जो ग्रह आहे त्या ग्रहाला सूर्याशी जोडणारी सरळ रेषा, त्या ग्रहाला सूर्याशी जोडणारी सरळ रेषा ही समान कालावधीमध्ये समान क्षेत्रफळ व्यापते. See here, suppose it is a planet and it is a sun, and it is a line which joins the sun and planet, that are the straight line. Kepler stated that the line joining the planet and sun sweeps equal area in equal interval of time. In the rotation period, we will take some equal period. Suppose at point A is the point at which the planet is present now, and AS is a line which joins to the sun. Suppose after 3 to 4 months, that planet is at the position of point B. Planet is at the position of the point B, and now BS is the straight line which joins to the sun. BS is a straight line which joins the sun, and it is the area which are captured by that straight line. It is the area which is captured by the straight line. We take on a period about 4 months. Next 4 months, the planet is at point C. Next 4 months, planet is at point C, and CS is a straight line joining to the sun. And in that next 4 months, the straight line covers the area. Now another 4 months, we will take another 4 months. See here, planet is at point D, and DS is a straight line in between the planet and sun, and the area is covered by that line, is that area. According to the Kepler's law, the line joining the planet and sun sweeps equal area in equal time interval. For example, we are taken the same time interval, that is the 4 months. In each and every 4 months, that line sweeps the equal area. In first 4 months, that is the area is ASB. In second 4 months, area is BSC, and in third 4 months, area is that CSD. That areas are the equal area. म्हणजे परिभ्रमण वृत्तावरून, म्हणजेच सूर्याभोवती ग्रह ज्या लंबवर्तुळाकार मार्गाने फिरतो त्या लंबवर्तुळाकार वृत्तावरील ग्रह आणि सूर्य यांना जोडणारी रेषा, ग्रह आणि सूर्य यांना जोडणारी रेषा प्रत्येक समान कालावधीमध्ये समान क्षेत्रफळ व्यापते. प्रत्येक समान कालावधीमध्ये समान क्षेत्रफळ व्यापते. समजा आपण हा 4 महिन्याचा कालावधी उदाहरणासाठी घेतला. समजा एखादा ग्रह या ठिकाणी आहे, समजा एखादा ग्रह या ठिकाणी आहे आणि या ठिकाणापासून तो 6 महिन्यामध्ये इथे आला. समजा इथे आपण एक्स हा पॉइंट घेतलाय, तो वाय पॉइंट पर्यंत 6 महिन्यामध्ये गेला. एक्स पॉइंट पासून सूर्याला जोडणारी एक्स एस ही रेषा आणि वाय पॉइंट पासून सूर्याला जोडणारी एक्स वाय एस ही रेषा. आता ही रेषा या दोन्हीच्या मध्ये हे जे क्षेत्रफळ आहे हे क्षेत्रफळ, आणि नंतरच्या 6 महिन्याचं आपण जर उदाहरण घेतलं, सूर्य हा ग्रह इथे असेल झेड पॉइंटवर. या झेड पॉइंटवर जर ग्रह असेल तेव्हा या झेड एस ही झाली ग्रहाला जोडणारी ही रेषा, म्हणजे वाय एस आणि झेड एस या दोन ज्या रेषा आहेत, या दोन रेषेमधील जे क्षेत्रफळ आहे, आपण इथे या दोन्हीसाठी उदाहरण टाइम इंटरवल घेतला 6 मंथ. नाउ सी हियर एरिया ऑफ एक्स एस वाय and area of y s z, these are the same according to the Kepler's second law. Now we turn to Kepler's third law. Kepler's third law. Kepler's third law. First we write the Kepler's third law. The square of the square of the planets revolution time, square of the planets revolution time around the sun square of the planets revolution time or the period of revolution. We say in another word planets period of revolution. Period of revolution around the sun. Period of revolution around the sun is directly proportional to the cube of mean distance of a planet from the sun. A planet from the sun. It is a Kepler's third law. See here, a square of planet's period of revolution. Square of planet's period of revolution around the sun is directly proportional to directly proportional to the cube of mean distance. It is most important, mean distance. Cube of mean distance of a planet from the sun. म्हणजे ग्रहाच्या सूर्याभोवती फिरण्याच्या आवर्तकालाचा वर्ग, ग्रहाचा सूर्याभोवती फिरण्याचा आवर्तकालाचा वर्ग हा समानुपाती आहे ग्रह व सूर्य यांच्या मधील सरासरी अंतराच्या घनाशी. ग्रह व सूर्य यांच्यामधील सरासरी अंतराच्या घनाशी. It is an elliptical path of a planet. It is an elliptical path of a planet, and planet rotates around the sun on that elliptical path. First, we understand about what is the period of revolution. Period of revolution. To complete a one cycle around the sun to the planet is called as the period of revolution of the planet. म्हणजे ग्रहाला सूर्याभोवती एक फेरी पूर्ण करण्यासाठी, ग्रहाला सूर्याभोवती एक फेरी पूर्ण करण्यासाठी लागणारा जो कालावधी आहे त्या कालावधीला मराठीमध्ये त्याला आवर्तकाल म्हणायचं आणि इंग्रजीमध्ये त्याला आपण म्हणू पिरियड ऑफ रिव्होल्यूशन. A period of revolution of the planet means it is a complete to one rotation. It is a period to complete the one rotation around the sun is called as the period of revolution of the planet. And suppose period of revolution is a T. Suppose a period of revolution of a planet is a T. And now the mean distance of a planet. For that we will take the average distance or a mean distance. Why we does not take actual distance of a planet from the sun? We will take the average distance because the path of the planet it is the elliptical path, and in each and every point, from each and every point, the distance between the point of that curve is different. म्हणजे या इलिप्स वरून, म्हणजे या लंबवर्तुळाकार मार्गावरून ग्रहाचं भ्रमण होत असल्यामुळं ग्रहाचं प्रत्येक बिंदूपासूनचं सूर्यापासूनचं अंतर हे वेगवेगळं असतं. आता इथेच पहा आपण, इथे हे अंतर इथे असेल, ग्रह जर इथे असेल तर हे अंतर इथे आहे, या दोन्हीमध्ये अंतरामध्ये फरक आहे. ग्रह जर इथं असेल तर हे अंतर आणखी कमी आहे, इथे असेल तर आणखी कमी आहे. म्हणजे प्रत्येक बिंदूच्या ठिकाणचं सूर्यापासूनचं अंतर हे वेगवेगळं आहे. म्हणून इथे आपल्याला ऍक्च्युअल डिस्टन्स घेता येत नाही, म्हणून आपल्याला इथं ऍव्हरेज डिस्टन्स किंवा मीन डिस्टन्स घेऊ. दी mean distance of a planet, mean distance of from sun is a r. The mean distance आपण r समजू. And now according to the Kepler's third law, t square is directly proportional to r cube. T square is directly proportional to r cube. Why? The square of the planet's period of revolution around the sun is directly proportional to the cube of mean distance of a planet from the sun. म्हणजे सूर्याभोवती फिरणाऱ्या ग्रहाचा आवर्तकाल हा ग्रह आणि सूर्य, म्हणजे सूर्याभोवती फिरण्याचा ग्रहाचा आवर्तकालाचा वर्ग हा ग्रह आणि सूर्य यांच्यामधील सरासरी अंतराच्या घनाशी समानुपाती असतो. द स्क्वेअर ऑफ द प्लॅनेट्स period of revolution around the sun, the square of the planet's period of the revolution around the sun is directly proportional to the cube of mean distance of a planet from the sun. So T square is directly proportional to R cube. And now we will get the equation that is T square divided by R cube equal to constant. And it is a K. T square divided by R cube equal to a constant, and that constant is a K. So it is a Kepler's third law. Kepler stated that three laws by simply observing the position of the planets. By simply observing the position of the planets, but he does not stated that why that planets obey these laws. म्हणजे केवळ साध्या निरीक्षणातून केप्लरने हे सिद्धांत मांडले, परंतु हे नियम प्लॅनेटद्वारे का पाळल्या जातात याचं स्पष्टीकरण मात्र केप्लरने दिलेलं नाही. That Kepler does not give any explanation how or why that planets obeys these laws. So we will see in our next part the Newton's gravitational law of universe, or the Newton's universal law of gravitation.